You hate to see it. Just kidding. I don't hate to see it because I have no sympathy. Let me repeat this. I have no sympathy whatsoever for a guy who has all the talent in the world that wants to sabotage and ruin his own career. I don't really know a way to ease into this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. In tonight's video, we got to talk about the breaking news about how Georgia's new wide receiver just got arrested. Not only did he get arrested, but number one, these are felony charges, and number two, there was no bond set, so he's still in jail. When will he get out, if ever? I don't know, but a lot of people out there, including Georgia fans, are saying that he's already ruined his career. If you're an avid viewer of the channel, I said it only about a week or two ago, I'm going to say it again. It feels like I have to make this video once every month, and now it feels like I'm making this video once every 2 or 3 weeks where we got to talk about a highly talented individual who ruins his career over doing something stupid. About a week ago, it was the Alabama basketball player, and now we have a Georgia football player. And this is also another reason why I say the SEC isn't just the best conference, but it's the most entertaining. In the SEC, there is no such thing as offseason. With the transfer portal, NIL, the coaching circle, and carousel going on, there is no offseason. There is always something to talk about. And you better believe this. I'm going to keep you guys updated and informed all throughout this offseason, I promise. We've got a lot to talk about and go over in tonight's video. I'm excited because this is an actual jam-packed video. We also got to talk about some other stuff going on in the SEC, including the new power rankings that just came out. These are the way too early rankings for next year for all 14 SEC teams, and we also got some other minor topics. Like I said, it is going to be an absolute jam-packed video. You know how the intro goes. Blah, blah, blah. Matt, shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, I was scrolling on Twitter today and I saw this and I was like, hey, this would be great to show in the video. Fox College Football tweeted out, who do you think is the best college football head coach to never win a title? Out of these 4 guys, I'm immediately narrowing it down to 2, and that's Frank Beamer and Bill Snyder. And to be honest, I really think it's 1A, 1B because nobody has done more with less than Frank Beamer and Bill Snyder. Look at the talent that Bill Snyder had at Kansas State and what that team always did. I love me some Bill Snyder, arguably one of the most underrated head college football coaches of all time. However, and it pains me to say this because I do respect and admire Bill Snyder so much, I gotta give the edge to Frank Beamer. I just simply think he's the best, and that's all there is to it. If I had to pick one of these coaches in their prime, I'm picking Frank Beamer. I would love to talk about this some more, but like I said, it's a jam-packed video, and we got many more things to talk about. Let me know your thoughts on that down below. Moving along here to our second topic. I've been seeing this everywhere recently, and I gotta speak about it. If you got Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. You can't always believe what you see because you got verified people with the blue checkmark line every single day. And for some reason, somebody made up this false report, and it's been spreading like a wildfire that Nick Saban said this to Brock Purdy when he visited Alabama. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Brock Purdy is the current starting quarterback for the 49ers. It's an awesome story. He was Mr. Irrelevant, which is the last pick in the NFL draft, and now he's got a good chance of winning a Super Bowl. Well, now these news outlets are just making up stuff, and here's what they said Nick Saban said to him when he visited Bama. Saban allegedly stated, quote unquote, "You're below average in height, your arm strength is whatever, your accuracy is average." Calm down, Matt. Calm down. Don't explode. It's not good for your health. I'm just going to leave it at this. If you honestly believe that, and the sad part is people are believing this because verified accounts are tweeting this out, you need to reevaluate your life. If you believe this nonsense, you are so, and I mean so gullible. For those of you that also don't know this, Alabama offered Brock Purdy a scholarship. And also, just put 2 and 2 together. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. I wouldn't consider myself a rocket scientist at least. If Nick Saban wanted Brock Purdy and he had him on an official visit, why would he say this? Stuff like this doesn't make me mad, and I'm not even going to read off the comments because that's besides the point. I just want to get this out here to the public that this is false information. Because if you go to the comment section in any post about this, people believe it. And oh yeah, also, by the way, moving on to our third topic, but keeping it on the same subject with Alabama quarterbacks, there's now this huge debate going on where people are claiming that Alabama fans can't claim Jalen Hurts as their former quarterback. Because now they're saying, oh, well, y'all didn't want him. Y'all benched him for Tua. He's a Oklahoma alumni. He's not a Bama alumni. Not that it matters because Who in the crap cares? But listen here, bozo, let me offer you up some information. Jalen Hurts, although he finished at Oklahoma, that wasn't because he wanted to. He didn't have a choice. Alabama chose to go with Tua because at the time, and even Jalen Hurts knew this, Tua was the better quarterback. It is what it is. That doesn't mean that Nick Saban doesn't know anything about quarterbacks. That doesn't mean that Alabama fans didn't love Jalen Hurts because, as a matter of fact, Alabama fans, I think most of them love Jalen Hurts more than Tua, and Tua stayed. Jalen Hurts went to Oklahoma because it was the best option for him, and I'm glad he did because it worked out. And for all of you bozos and clowns out there that want to say, oh, Bama fans can't claim Jalen Hurts, well, why don't you check where his degree's from? Why don't you check where he graduated from? That's Alabama. It's weird, man. It really is. I've just came to the conclusion that people hate Alabama fans and they don't want them to be happy. People can't stand to see Alabama fans cheering on Jalen Hurts, so they gotta say, oh, well, he didn't even play quarterback at Alabama. He didn't even finish at Alabama. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. But moving on to our fourth topic. Yes, our fourth topic, last but not least, before we get into the main topic, let me show you the power rankings real quick. I'm going to tell you the same advice I'm going to tell myself. Take these with a grain of salt because I think it's a load of horse crap. My immediate reaction when I saw this is, how and why is Alabama at 4? You mean to tell me LSU and Tennessee, you think they're going to be better than Bama next year? Come on, man. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? But anyways, rounding out the top 14, we got Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Bama, South Kakalaki. Ooh, okay, I didn't know that was at 5. Kentucky at 6, A&M at 7, Ole Miss at 8, Mississippi State at 9, Mizzou at 10, Arkansas at 11, 12, Auburn, 13, Florida, and last but not least, we got good old sorry Vanderbilt, the baseball school, at 14. And honestly, if I'm a Vanderbilt fan, I'm pissed off about this because we beat Florida last year. I'm cool with Georgia being number 1. I would also put them at number 1. And at number 2, I would have Bama. I would probably, I would flip LSU and Alabama. So LSU 4, Alabama 2. As far as it goes for the rest of this list, I think it's about A-okay. The Arkansas one at number 11, though, that is kind of low. And the only other intriguing one to me is I'm not too sure as to how they came to the conclusion that Kentucky is number 6. I'll put it this way. Next year, if Kentucky played Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Arkansas, I'm picking Kentucky to lose all 4 of them games. It is what it is, and what a miserable time to be a Kentucky sports fan, because not only are you mediocre at football, but you're now mediocre at basketball. On the flip side, what a time to be alive if you're an Alabama basketball fan, now ranked number 2 in the country. I'm telling you, man, I've been an Alabama basketball fan my entire life, and we've been pretty average and terrible my entire life, so feels good to be on the other side. Feels good to finally be winning some games. And I'll tell you this much, I think this Bama basketball team has a great shot of winning the title. They got length and they got all that, but we're not here to talk about basketball. We're here to move on and talk about football. Speaking of moving on to the main topic, the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto the video. We got to talk about Georgia's new wide receiver who just got arrested. You hate to see it. Just kidding. I don't hate to see it because I have no sympathy. Let me repeat this. I have no sympathy whatsoever for a guy who has all the talent in the world that wants to sabotage and ruin his own career. I have no sympathy. You know why? Because if me, you, many of us watching this video, if we had the God-given talent and abilities that some of these kids have, we wouldn't waste it. So when it comes to situations like this, if you're looking for somebody that has sympathy, you've came to the wrong channel. Let's just get straight into it. The breaking news came out late last night that Georgia's new wide receiver, Rara Thomas, was arrested overnight on felony and misdemeanor charges. By the way, ladies and gents, this Rara Thomas kid, he's only been at Georgia for about a month. He transferred there in December. He's a new transfer that I had a lot of you sending me information about him whenever he announced he's going to Georgia. He's supposed to be this new big pickup for him, but I was going to wait and see what happened. From everything I was told, he was supposed to be this immediate impact type of player, and he was going to be a big pickup. Unfortunately for Mr. Rara Thomas, here we are. We don't know too much information because this just happened. The only thing we know is that he was booked into jail at 4:04 a.m. with no bond set. I'm going to repeat this. He is booked on a felony charge and a misdemeanor charge. Somebody tagged this to me on Instagram. So, college football reporting page or whatnot, they was reporting on it, and at the end of their statement they said, we went on a bit of a stretch where it felt like Georgia didn't have many arrests, but hashtag crime you might be back. Let us know what you think. What? Since when is Georgia crime university? I don't know, maybe I've missed something, but I just don't agree with that. Crime you. When has Georgia ever been called that? Hey, maybe people do call him that, but I've never heard anybody say that. I don't know too much about this Rara Thomas kid. The only thing I know is that whenever he announced he's transferring to Georgia, I had a bunch of you guys on Instagram and Twitter sending it to me and saying, Matt, you gotta talk about this. This is big. As a matter of fact, hold on. Y'all know how I like to do it. I like to get me a perspective and you guys a perspective. Let's check on his stats from last season. Okay, got it pulled up right here. He's only a sophomore. Last year was his sophomore year, so this year at Georgia, he was gonna be a junior. And in 2022 for Mississippi State, not bad. 44 catches, over 600 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And that was his sophomore year. So yeah, I do think this guy's a pretty solid football player, and he had a great shot of making the NFL. Will this affect his chances of getting to the NFL? Yes, I'm sure it will, because it's not going to help it. That's one thing. Whoa, hold on. I'm talking about the NFL. We need to be talking about if he's even going to play college football again. Is he even going to play at Georgia? I don't know, because number one, I'm not too sure how serious this situation is. And number two, I'm not too sure how Kirby Smart's going to react to it. You never know. Kirby Smart could kick him off the team or suspend him for the first 2 or 3 games, and that kid may get mad and transfer elsewhere. Who knows what's going to happen there? All I currently know is this definitely is not going to help him in the future. Do I think this has completely ruined his college football career and possibly NFL career? I don't know about all of that. I wouldn't go that far quite just yet. I think it's hurt his career drastically, but I don't know if it's ended it just quite yet. I'm all for second chances, but sometimes if you mess up really bad, you don't get a second chance. The only thing I know to say is time will tell, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. Let me know your thoughts on everything we talked about down below, but roll with Billy!